Listen, you shouldn't have to stretch your budget to buy jeans with a little give. High-end denim can cost hundreds of dollars, but bargain brands don't offer the same level of style and comfort.
Yeah. You can't get some jeans that cost you hundreds of dollars and like have to do a juice cleanse to get into them.
Totally. So Distilled, spelled DSTLD, they've revolutionized the fashion industry with their timeless luxury grade denim. So you get jeans that would normally cost you hundreds starting at just $65.
Yeah. They eliminate these crazy markups because they refuse to work with middlemen.
Refuse. They ship directly to you for free and guarantee the fit, or they'll send you a new pair until they're perfect. Distilled jeans are built to last and will be a staple in your closet for years.
They also have a bunch of fall jackets. So if you're like into a classic denim or you want like a bomber jacket, you can just expect the same level of quality.
Okay. And so for a discount, go to dstld.com/feral and you'll get $10 off your first order.
That's
d.com/feral for $10 off. Bye. Thanks. Bye. Alie, let me ask you a question.
Yeah. Fire away, dude.
What?
Fire away, dude.
Oh. Yes or no? Finding the right hair color for you, Alie, can be a challenge.
What color is my hair right now?
Burgundy.
Yeah. Was that on purpose?
No.
Did I need to use E-Salon?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I fucked it up. Oh, wait. You can scratch that.
No, it's great. E-Salon offers professional grade. Leave that in. Completely personalized hair color that's created just for you and delivered right to your door. Alie, you fucking need this.
I need it so much. This is the last time I will color my hair without taking the steps to get the right color. I grabbed a color off the shelf. It was the wrong color. My hair is maroon now.
Don't do it. Alie, do you love questionnaires?
Yes.
Here's a hair questionnaire. Upload your photo and a personal colorist will formulate your individually blended color from over 15,000 pigments.
Oh my God.
I know.
I need E-Salon and a time machine to go back to yesterday.
Totally. Well, they've got you covered. There's 100% satisfaction guaranteed if you're not happy, Alie.
Oh God, I need
with
this.
Your color. It will give you a free reformulation or refund.
I think anything's better than what I did to myself before.
I mean, you look cute.
Thanks, dude. But you know what? I like that the color doesn't fade. Like they have the grays covered. Because I get some grays every once in a while.
I mean, at 23 years old, our gray is like pretending to start to come in.
I know. It's probably because we're such big thinkers.
We're so young.
So you can visit esalon.com/slumber party, all one word. And do that. You get 50% off your first order. So that's $10 for your personalized hair color, which is crazy because the last time I got my hair colored in a salon, it was like $180.
Dude, you can do it your freaking self. I've been doing it my freaking self for years and years.
Yeah, I really got the wrong color. So I need to use eSalon. You get 50% off your first box at esalon.com/slumber party. So go do that. Don't be an Alie Ward.
Send us photos too. Hashtag it at, I don't know, Alie in Georgia. Let's see your hair.
Yeah, just tag us in it on Instagram. Let's see your pictures.
Let's do it.
I want to look at your hair.
Bye.
Feral Audio.
Hi, it's Slumber Party. I'm Alie. No, that's Alie. I'm Georgia.
Oh, is that the first time that's happened?
No.
Who I forget these days. Who's who? This is Alie.
This is Georgia.
And this is Slumber Party.
Hey.
This is a podcast where we pretend it's a slumber party. We're actually in pajamas right now.
We really are.
I'm on my floor.
We always start with one thing we learned this week. I really like mine this week, but you go first.
No, I want to hear yours.
Okay. Have you heard of something called breast crawl?
Gross.
I know. I am fascinated.
No.
I was talking to a pregnant human the other day, and she told me about this thing, and I, in the middle of the conversation, was like, I got to write this down. Like, I have to tell Alie about this. It's fascinating.
Can I guess what it is?
Yes.
I guess when your boobs are engorged, it feels like there's bugs crawling on them.
Ew, no.
I don't know what a breast crawl is.
It's actually fucking fascinating. So when a baby is first born, they place the baby on the mother's chest.
Okay.
The baby has just enough muscle,
already cringing,
crawling capability, and can sense its mother's hormones coming from its or like smell coming from her nipples, that the baby can move itself and crawl just enough and wiggle itself to the nipple, finds the nipple on its own. Okay. This baby's not even 10 minutes old yet. And there's videos online. It's amazing.
Okay.
Finds the nipple, fucking knows how to like, that this is the nipple, this is what I'm going for, this is, it can put it in its mouth itself.
How many times have we said nipples so far on this
Nipple.
episode? Oh, okay.
How
so
crazy is that? There's the
it
videos.
is crazy.
It's the fascinating. Like a baby will fucking like worm itself over and is like, this is the like life sustenance that I need with my.
You know what the problem with this story is that I've recently watched a video of a kangaroo in a sack, in a pouch.
Yeah.
Looking for so I'm picturing a baby human like a tiny, like a gummy bear sized kangaroo, just like all pink and wormy and blind and being like blah, 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 blah.
It is. I mean, I'm obsessed with like pregnancy and birth and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
you can't wait to be pregnant, which I'm like,
I'm just fascinated. I think it's a fucking incredible thing. And so
the metamorphosis.
when I found this out, it was like even more.
So,
crazy.
But in general, though, the wonder of it is that like the baby can't do shit else other than find a nipple.
Just that it knows to do that.
Oh yeah. Well,
Like-
you know what? There were babies that didn't know how to do that. You know what happened? They died.
Well,
It's
no.
evolution.
Usually they just put the baby on the nipple, you
Right.
know, and they're like, "Here, drink." And but it actually it's their first experience of learning something, and so it's actually really good to let them do the crawl, the breast. crawl.
like they're like it's like an Easter egg hunt. They're like find the nipple.
And both the mom and the baby are having surges of oxytocin because that happens right after birth, and so it helps the placenta come out. Clearly, that's gross. I'm fascinated.
Did you go down a wormhole vagina hole?
I watched a couple videos.
Oh,
It's crazy.
I can't watch birth videos.
Oh, I fucking love. We'll talk about this on the podcast.
Gross.
Okay, what did
Gross.
you?
I can't watch
We'll talk
surgery.
about that with our guest.
I can't even look at fake blood in like horror movies. So like watching a real live like
Love it.
perineum tear or
it.
like a YouTube of
Yeah.
one. Like hell no, I'm gonna opt out of
Okay.
that.
What did you learn? We'll talk. I'm sure our guest has something to say about.
Okay, I learned two things. Quick one.
Yeah.
LL Cool J stands for Ladies Love Cool
James. You didn't know that?
No, this was news to me. I thought his name was like I don't know, Lester Lawrence James, and
Yeah.
he was like, "I'll throw cool in there." I had no idea that he just straight up pulled that from his
Ladies
butt.
love Cool James.
But the main thing I learned is there's something called think of a human being, right?
Okay.
They have whites in their eyes, right?
Yeah.
Think of any other animal. Whites in their eyes? Not really, right?
No.
So why do human beings have whites of their eye?
That is a great question. I can't
Can
wait
you think of anything?
just to bounce off the light and distract from the light.
Right? To look for nipples.
Right.
Just be constantly scanning the horizon for a nipple
Yeah.
until death. No, it's as social animals, the whites of the eyes direct you. So you're looking at me, right? What am I looking at?
You're looking at the ceiling.
Right. Okay. So, but without turning my head, you know that. Other animals without whites of their eyes, you can't tell where their focus is.
Whoa.
But human beings are so cooperative that it behooves us to be able to communicate what to look at and what to look out for and how to find
and
food.
they're specifically looking at you. You can tell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Even though it's a little bit dangerous because a predator can see the whites of your eyes. Right. But it helps human beings to communicate. And we're such a cooperative species. It's called the cooperative eye hypothesis. It's the hypothesis of why we have whites of the eyes. And dogs also can follow our eye movement.
Yeah.
But yeah, other primates need the direction of the head to see where you're looking. Isn't that
Amazing.
crazy?
Amazing.
I know.
Life is incredible.
And also, the other hypothesis is like of whites of the eyes is like if you have shitty whites of your eyes, like they're egg yolk colored or they're just like
You're
ugh.
sick.
Yeah, it's like don't fuck that one. That's literally
Go
like
to the doctor.
that one's got jaundice.
Don't
Move on.
breed with that one and let them have a breast crawl, baby.
Oh, a breast crawl also sounds like a bachelor party. A little bit.
I have a question.
Okay.
Who's our guest?
Oh, this is what I learned. Our guest is named Allison Rosen.
She's a podcaster. Allison Rosen is your new best friend, and she's a badass writer, an awesome human being, and we're really stoked to have her.
We've had so many people tweet at us being like, "Can you get her on the podcast?"
Whenever we're like, "Who's your dream guest?" It's like,
I know. We're so excited. Here you are.
I'm so excited to be here. That is super flattering to hear that people have been asking for me to be here. I already love you guys.
Thank you.
Alie and Georgia.
Yeah.
But Alie and I kind of have the same name, except you're not an Allison, are you?
I totally am.
You
yeah.
are?
You
Okay.
have 2 L's or 1?
I have one.
Me too.
And I have an I.
Yes.
So our only difference, aside from the fact that we're two different human beings,
That's
but I mean,
also true.
our only difference name wise is that when I'm Alie, it's just ALI.
Mine.
But
Do you want to know a secret?
yes,
Mine was too.
why'd you throw the E in?
Because when I was 28, you were a journalist.
Yes.
I was a journalist also. There was another Alie Ward, and she wrote about horticulture in Britain, and I had to toss the E on my name, so my parents still
That
spell it ALI.
Bitch.
I know. I had to SEO I had to search engine optimization myself.
Wow.
How fake is that? I feel like I have a secret boob job or something.
But in my mind, having only known you as ALIE, you're not. That's who you are. That's you
know.
and you alone. And if I ever met anyone else with ALIE, I'd be like, "What the shit?"
No, it's weird when my sister will like write an email and say, "Look, Allie's coming up for Thanksgiving," and there's an E on it. I'm like, "But you don't need to do that."
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know ALI. I don't know who that person
Yeah,
is.
you didn't know me in
Never.
that period. I feel like a faker. Anyway, but ALI, that was me too.
Yeah, it's sort of like people have their public and their private Facebooks. You have your public and your private name, except your sister's using your public name. And then, Georgia, you're from Orange County, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Orange
Yes,
County.
I saw that.
Where in Orange County are you from?
Irvine.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Corona Del Mar, and then I went to college in Claremont, which is not in Orange County, and then I
Yeah.
came back and lived in Costa Mesa.
Yeah, Costa Mesa's cool.
Did you go to University High School?
No, I went to Woodbridge.
Woodbridge?
Are you
That's
guys
crazy.
equally ashamed of Orange County, or do you?
I am.
I am,
George-
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Well, oh yeah, I was, and also I hated growing up there. I hated
It was
while
worse.
I was growing up. Yeah. Is it because we have dark hair? Do you have naturally dark hair?
It's just brown.
Okay. I guess there's other people with dark hair in Irvine, but
Are you Jewish?
yes,
That's the problem. I am too. there were no Jews, and we. That's the problem.
well, it's
Like you got under her hood and you're
Sorry,
like, oh, you've got a Jewish.
I clearly.
no,
I have to.
it's
I
like Hitler Youth there.
Yeah,
not
right.
not as much in Irvine.
I did
but-
hang out with skinheads in Costa Mesa.
Really?
Yeah.
I accidentally dated a skinhead when I was living in Costa Mesa.
Oh my god! What if it's the same person?
Did his name start with a J?
No.
For Jadolf. But I used to play in a band, and we used to play at this club called Club Mesa, but it was
Yes, I remember that.
Club Nazi. It was apparently what it was known as like 10 or 15 years before.
What
It was a
band
punk
were you
club. It was called the Angoras. It was girl punk, but we had a guy drummer.
I remember. What was the store where now Triangle Square is, which is the worst fucking blight on humanity? Across the street, there was this like Riot Girl store.
Oh, I don't know, but I used to live across from, it was like Dr. Free Cloud's mixing lab.
Oh my god! I dated a DJ, and I used to have to go there with them all the time.
Oh, wait a second, you guys. Why did you not go to each other's bat mitzvahs?
No.
Why did that not happen?
We could have been our Jewish friends.
Wait, did you, just one more second for the listeners who
Yeah.
are like, I don't
This is
care.
so boring.
I'm not also from there.
This is fascinating for two people, and
I
they're
know.
sitting.
I'm following
Allie's
this.
got a half a
I'm following this.
interest.
I wonder if we hung out at the same bars.
probably.
Wait, who's this DJ? Would I know who he is?
Blah.
Do you want me to do some like hold music over this?
No, well,
Okay.
But
All right.
did
I
you go
gotta-
to Coos Cafe? Anthony?
Yes, we used to play at Coos Cafe
Then
sometimes.
I've probably been to one of your shows.
Okay. Well, this is crazy. So I have a comment about the breast crawl.
Okay.
Here's what I want to know. From how far away can the baby do this? Like, can you challenge him by putting him across the room? Just be like,
Seriously?
find your mom.
You're like, this kid's getting into Harvard. That's early admission.
Movie. It's the whole thing is like 2 hours long, and it's in a horror movie
For babies,
yeah.
a horror movie.
Right.
I just keep picturing a tiny baby kangaroo looking for my nipple. My nipple's
A
bigger than the
joey.
kangaroo,
Picture a
and
really
it's
cute
awkward.
worm. Picture an adorable worm
That just sounds
Okay.
like so much larva.
that smells like amniotic fluid.
It's not cute.
No, I know. They put it on the chest, on the person's chest. The
I'm
mother's
sure it's
chest.
cute as hell when it just came out of you, and it's like
It's a little creepy, and
Where's
it's guppying its mouth the whole time,
guppying.
like
Right? Because it was in water
looking
before.
for a nipple. Like looking to, like all it is thinking about is mouthing a nipple.
Oh boy.
Like you on a Friday night, Dustin. What did you learn this week?
Well,
Allison, now
mine-
that we're
I know
sorry,
you guys. No,
halfway
it's
through.
fine. You guys have such super good facts that are interesting to other people. Mine was just something interesting to me. I realized I cannot whistle.
Oh.
And this is the kind of thing that I would think I would know because I'm very proud of the fact that I can like raise both eyebrows separately. I spent an entire painful evening in college teaching myself to burp because I'm like, I cannot walk this earth without knowing how to do that. It's a parlor trick almost.
I didn't
of
know it
a-
was something you can teach yourself.
how to burp. If you spend long enough, you can.
I did teach myself the one eyebrow lift.
Yeah.
like paint like an hour in front of the mirror. But I didn't know you could do that.
Not both. She's got both down.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I
Yeah.
can make my eyes shake like I'm possessed.
that's true. It's creepy.
Really?
I taught myself how to do
I think
that.
I kind of need to see that.
Yeah. Here, do you want to see it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, listeners, get a load of this.
We have to put a video of this on YouTube.
Oh my God!
They
How do
like
you do that?
They like vibrate. It's like they're vibrating.
How do you do that? Is it just like tensing your?
I did the same thing. I went on lockdown. My dad could do it, and I was like, I'm going to figure this shit out. So I think everyone at some point in their weird, sad youth must lock themselves in a room and be like, I'm going to teach myself to do something gross and biological.
Right, but super fun. Well, so anyway, my husband he can whistle any old tune. He's super good at
whistle.
it. You can't? Okay. I never realized I couldn't. Maybe it was better that way because I didn't hold myself back. But then I realized a lot of people can whistle songs. And when I whistle, this is what it sounds like.
Yep.
So to me, because I can make a sound,
Yeah.
I always thought I'm whistling. And he's like, you're really not whistling very well.
I get bummed out when people are really good whistlers, and and everyone's like, "Let me teach you," and it's like my mouth is not the right shape.
That's what I think's
My
going on
teeth are
with mine.
too big. It's not going to fucking happen. Can you whistle, Alie?
You just need a guppy.
Can you whistle?
Yeah,
It's pretty legit.
I don't know.
Pretty good.
That's a
It's
good
like a bird.
legit.
But who has ever been... who's
Seduced
ever been
by
called
someone's
on to do that? No
whistle.
one's ever like, Alie, can you do me a huge favor? Can you grab the mustard and whistle me a tune? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but it would be nice to and you're in a store with a friend or someone, and you're like trying to find each other, and you have a whistle.
Here's what I think about this. Fuck tune whistling, because for the most part, I'm sure your husband Daniel is very good at it. For the most part, that's like usually people are like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's like a Mayberry thing where you're like, I don't need that in my life right now. 'Cause
Right. No
unless-
one needs extra whistling.
The only person enjoying the whistling is the person whistling.
Whistling,
so
right.
fuck you. That's like farting. It's like that person loves that they're farting, but nobody else does.
I do love when I fart. I
Exactly.
can't stop laughing.
Right? But does
Yeah.
anyone else enjoy it when you fart that much?
Probably not.
Okay. But the other thing
Probably
is
not, but I'm not
probably
sure.
not.
Yeah.
You need to do a Survey Monkey poll and figure out
Who likes my farting?
Exactly. What percentage of other Americans?
There's got to be like
But
at least 2%.
The kind of whistle though where you put your fingers in your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And you
Yes.
attract the attention of like a cop if you need one.
Or a
like
cab.
that's what you got to get good at.
That-
I would love to be able to do
Me
that.
too. It's very masculine, and it pisses me off that I can't do it because I don't like that.
Let's watch some videos and figure out how to do that. I think learning that as a life skill is better than being a songbird.
I think you're
agree.
right.
Right?
Yeah. I was actually just, Jeff Fox, who produces my podcast, who I guess he was talking with you at
I
a
met him at the Dead Milkman show.
Yes. He used to be a roadie for the Dead Milkman.
Shut up.
He and I were talking about this whistling thing because it's been on my mind.
Yeah.
And then he brought up how cool it would be to be able to do the 2-finger whistle. And he said that he tried to teach himself, but he couldn't.
I think some people's mouths are just not
Let's look into this.
okay.
Yeah.
Georgia and I are
We'll make a pact that we all learn to finger whistle.
and we're going on a long trip in a couple days. Why don't we just practice on the airplane?
I'm sure our neighbors on the airplane would have no problem with that.
we have 5 hours in the flight to
Let's
learn.
bring a baby too while we're at it.
By the end, I think you'll learn.
I think so too. That
Yeah.
we're kicked off the airplane. Let's ask her a slumber party question. Allison, you want a slumber party question?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Should we just get it out of the way?
I think we should do.
Go. Oh yeah,
Your
okay.
favorite.
I was going to say the story. Ghost story.
No, I think
didn't
we
hear
save
you.
it.
I don't
no,
know.
let's save it. Let's save
Okay,
it.
okay.
Let's do
Yeah.
a midnight snack.
Okay.
Okay.
You're alone at home.
Okay.
No one there to judge you. Like you're gonna watch your favorite show. What's your favorite show? What's your favorite guilty pleasure show?
Let's see. Ooh, guilty pleasure.
Or what have you been like binge watching lately?
Lately, I've been. Well, it's kind of something I love, so I
That's
sort of
cool.
want to save it.
No. Binge watching is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've been watching Gilmore Girls a lot.
Okay.
But I haven't. I was super strong when I got into it, which was this year. I didn't watch it originally. In fact, I used to watch my sister. And my younger sister was super into it, and I thought, I don't. These people talk too loud.
Yeah.
They live in Banterville.
They're
I can't
not
stand
real
it. Right.
people.
But now that it's on Netflix, I have been getting into it. Except now I'm sort of. It's losing me a little in the second season, but I'm trying to power through because I need to see what happens.
Okay, say you're about to watch an episode of Gilmore Girls. You're like, I want a midnight snack, like
Okay.
my guilty pleasure snack. No one's home to tell me how weird this is. Snack,
Yeah.
or like a thing you've been snacking on lately.
Or you've
Okay.
had, or even if you've had cat a day and you're like, I'm gonna fucking go to the store and I'm gonna buy this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat it later. It's gonna be the best.
Do you know what I just did that with?
What?
I love one of those like home run pies.
What?
You know those pies that come in like the crinkly paper?
Yes.
At the
I didn't
grocery
know-
store? Oh, I have a thing like once every 5 years.
I didn't know they made those still.
Cherry, yeah.
Shut
They
up.
fucking make those still. They're like 99 cents. They taste like lard.
I was gonna say the inside is like made out of like a liquid plastic,
It's
right?
liquid plastic. Outside is like the crust is like lard. And it's so good.
I thought that those had been banned in
I know.
America.
No, you can still get those.
God damn,
That's
good
mine
job.
lately. Thank you.
So that's your minute. What about you, Allison?
There's a lot of answers coming to my head. But something I used to do when I lived in New York is I'm like, I'm going to make a night of it. And I would go to the store and I would buy a couple cans of fat-free Ready Whip and just eat them plain.
Yeah.
Because-
Allie and Allison living their lives.
You know how many calories are in one can? Not that many, like 185.
You
in the
have to do
fat-free
like
one.
15 times 20. It's like 15 calories
Yeah.
per serving. And you're like, all right, how many? Just say what
Right.
the can is.
Yeah.
You know everyone. Come on.
That's me with all that kind of stuff. But if it was now, do calories not count in this?
Anything you
fantasy?
want.
Okay,
No.
like you could resort to cannibalism in this fantasy if you
Yeah.
wanted to, because there's just nothing's off limits.
Sure.
Well, I think this is kind of a boring answer, but I think my ultimate like comfort food snack, but thing that I don't ever have in the house would be cereal. It would be like from my childhood, like a bowl of cornflakes with a ton of sugar poured on top and bananas and maybe some raisins and like whole fat milk.
I love it.
But I haven't had that in 1,000 million years. But I tend to eat weird mixtures of disgusting items that are all quote unquote diet food. So like something I would do, and it's gross. I would pour a bunch of Truvia in a cup, and then I would like douse the hell out of it with I can't believe it's not butter, and then I would squeeze
Why did you fucking lead with this?
sugar-free maple syrup on it, which is kind of disgusting, but it's maple-esque, and then I would pour some almond milk in it, and then I would eat it plain.
Would you
and-
drink that?
No, I'd eat it with a spoon.
Because it's kind of like cookie dough. Is it? There's something
It's-
cookie dough, or you know when butter and
It's
sugar
just super
combine.
sweet. Yes, that's
That
frosting.
the nascent or
Yeah.
the nascent stages of when you're making
Yeah.
when you're making cookies, and it's
Oh.
the sugar and the butter and the eggs, and it's totally gonna give you like salmonella, but that it's still
It's
crunchy.
the
The
most
sugar's still
amazing.
crunchy and it's buttery. I had a low once where I put in my palm a packet of Splenda. And then I sprayed, I can't believe it's not butter, into
guys
it.
both-
And I licked it off
I've
my
done
hand.
that.
This is, I have never heard, those are both two things I have never had in my house, yet alone probably in my mouth. And you guys
They're
have
not bad.
both
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
that?
Here's where it comes from. It comes, I think, from calorie restriction.
Yes.
I used to,
Oh, yeah,
I used to
that's
count calories, and I
Yeah.
don't anymore. And since I stopped counting calories, like that kind of stuff is a behavior that has disappeared because I'm not like, it's not like a freebie. Like this is kind of a freebie. And
Yeah.
I would just now eat like half of a cookie and be like, all right, well, I had the cookie.
Yeah,
but
right.
there's
Chocolate
something.
or something.
But I have done. I have made some combinations, and it's Truvia is like the new Splenda because it's, but because it has like a stevia in it, and it's not like supposed to give you cancer or whatever.
And it's kind of crunchy too, so it's
crunchy.
sugar-esque.
I know,
Yeah.
but I've done that. I have licked it off my
I've
palm.
eaten a whole jar of salsa with I can't believe it's not butter sprayed on it.
What did you eat it with, though?
A spoon.
I love
No, it does. You're right. It comes from calorie restriction. It comes
Yeah.
from like, I'm trying not to eat anything with calories in it. Well, this is.
Improvisation.
Yeah. And it also comes from, I mean, that was, I think, when I was living alone, and I would always just not have a lot of food, not
Yeah.
have real food in the house.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're like a MacGyver. You're a snack MacGyver
Yeah.
because you're like,
Right.
what can
To-
I make
to outsmart your body?
Yeah. You're like, what can I make that is not ideal, but
Right.
it exists as a remedy?
And that won't make me cry myself to sleep for having done that.
But you know what? Have you ever had like low sugar maple syrup? And because you cry yourself to sleep on the toilet, that
Oh
shit
my
will
God.
wreck
Really?
you. If there's a maltitol or a sorbitol,
Yes, I can instantly feel.
Oh,
I
it's
can feel the effects.
horrifying.
What was, Allie, what was the whitefish that gives you diarrhea?
Escalar.
And what is it called sometimes?
I don't.
butter? It's in it butterfish.
Is
Oh,
that
I
what
don't
it
know.
is?
Maybe.
So I know I fell in love with that particular fish because I had it at a sushi restaurant.
No.
And I was like, this is so good. Like, what is this? I think it was called butterfish on the menu, if I remember
Which sounds
correctly.
delicious.
And then I looked it up and I saw that in certain people, but not me, but in certain people, it does have this fish has a laxative
Insane
effect.
laxative
Holy
effects.
shit.
I actually
Literally.
was talking to a guy friend of mine the other day, and he was saying that he's like, oh my God, one day, Valentine's Day, went out to a nice fancy dinner to a restaurant, got some whatever whitefish,
Right.
had it, and then they were in coitus, Valentine's Day coitus.
I can't.
And he was like, I don't feel good.
Oh my
I don't
God.
feel good.
Oh,
I don't feel
no.
good. And he had to just take his dick out of her and get his butt on a toilet.
Oh,
The worst.
Romantic.
I don't
The
even know what to
worst.
say to that.
But it's look it up. They had to do they tested like several different restaurants in Chicago or something. I think we talked
Right.
about it on the Jocelyn Hughes podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
because some restaurants were calling it something else,
Right,
and
right.
it turned out to be that. It's a super ugly looking fish when as in its fish form, as opposed to sitting on a little pile of rice. Have you ever seen what it looks like?
I can't remember.
Pretty heinous diarrhea.
I think
fish.
it's just.
I love it.
I think it just has so much oil. It just races through your system.
maybe.
right?
Yeah,
That's not a bad thing though. Like really, if you're constipated, right?
I guess you're right.
When was the last time you had a fish fountain come out of your
Oh, that's
butthole?
true. I don't want it to be fountain.
You don't. I mean, maybe if you're real stopped up,
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
but I think it's like Roto-Rooter. But the other
this
thing
is the most we've ever talked about shit on this
I'm
podcast.
no, we've done
right,
worse.
right.
Remember when you had Deanna Russo?
We had a pregnant human on it.
Yeah, we talked about it. But I will say that the calorie restriction stuff, though, is when George and I started doing this dessert show and we started having to binge eat for our job, I just was like, that was, I think, when we both realized, like, oh, okay, you can have 5 bites of a donut and not be like, this is the last donut I ever get to eat because I'm dirty. But so then, yeah, I think I stopped. That's kind of when I stopped counting calories. That's when I
Yeah.
stopped doing weird
You
stuff.
just like when do I feel like shit? When I eat this stuff? Great. When do I feel great? When I eat good stuff? Awesome.
Right.
I'm gonna do that. Also, when my pants button, I'm happier.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's such a happy. I mean, that's such a healthier way to live than
I really recommend everyone goes.
my
and-
version.
I do have a scale though. I
Don't
know.
do a
I
scale.
know you hate scales, but there's something
scales.
about it to me that helps.
Really?
So you have sworn off scales and sworn off calorie counting, and it hasn't affected your weight at all.
No, I've maybe gained. You know what? I've gained maybe like 3 pounds, but that's just because I travel so much. I don't run as much. But yeah, I used to have so much anxiety about. There was always this fear of like, I have one bad day and then I'm just going to fall down a ravine of obesity for the rest of my life. So everything was really high stakes. Like, oh shit, I ate this. Okay, that means because you're fed all this garbage about like.
Right.
Every commercial for food with women is like, the good news is you can fall in love with this particular candy bar.
It is
'cause it's
like-
really fiber.
I did realize recently that it's like that's what I've been worried about is becoming obese. Like, and then I had this realization that I'm never going to be fat. You know, I might like fluctuate in my weight,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to be fat.
The anxiety of it fuels a lot of the obsession. That's you know what I mean? Like, I think the anxiety of like slipping and you having to do it right, is
Right.
you start thinking about it so much, and it's like, you know that thing where it's like, don't think about a white bear right now. The first thing you think about is a white bear. You're like, God damn it. So it's like, don't want to eat food. Don't want to eat food. Don't want to eat food. And you're like, fuck. Just have some sweet potatoes and some chicken and just some shit. You're fine. Like,
I had fried chicken last night from the grocery store.
get it.
Which
girl.
grocery store?
Vaughn's. Which is a little nicer than like, let's say Albertsons.
Yes, on the grocery store hierarchy,
Right.
It
It's
is
Better than a John's.
That's very true.
The John's Vaughn's dichotomy in Los Angeles is a big one.
It's the same font.
it's the same font.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
John's is a whole other world.
You're not
Right.
fooling anyone, John's.
Yeah.
Let's ask another question.
Okay.
Now that we're done with our dieting rant. Now that my stomach's grumbling.
Are you hungry?
Suddenly I'm hungry.
I bought some healthy snacks. They suck. So.
Talking about, I can't believe it's not butter. Palmed, I can't believe it's not butter.
You know, it's a
What does it
reality.
taste? I've never had it.
It's actually pretty.
Is it
It's
good?
it's pretty salty
Buttery.
and kind of good. Yeah, I mean, you can believe it isn't butter. You're for no second are you fooled. But it becomes its own thing that is kind of good.
What a weird thing to call your product.
Yeah.
Like, remember when it came out in the was it late 80s, early 90s?
That sounds about right.
And everyone was
yeah.
like, what? This is stupid. And it's like fucking lasted.
Yeah.
What if they called bikes? I can't believe it's not a car.
Like or like jelly. Like, I can't believe it's not jam. It's just jelly.
If it were like,
Almond butter. I can't believe it's not peanut butter. Just call it almond butter.
it's such a long name.
Like, they wouldn't just
Women,
call it-
I can't believe you're not a man.
I met
What are
this
you?
really great. I can't believe it's not a man the other day. She was so smart. Everything is just. I'm incredulous. Okay, let's ask you this one. Okay. Do you have an internet crush on anyone? Is there anyone who's like, you can't get enough of their Twitter, you love a new Instagram, there's someone who you're like, you always want to check out what they're doing, you like their hair, you think they're...
There's two people.
Okay.
Two people. Do you know Dave Hill? He's a comedian.
Yeah.
He is one of my favorite people on Twitter. He's if I'm ever in a bad mood, I wish I remembered this more often if I'm in a bad mood, that just looking at his Twitter feed will put me in a good mood. He's so funny. And his Instagram, he's also really funny on Instagram, and he has a new dog. So there's cute dog pictures.
Oh, I just saw that. He just got it, right?
Yes.
I
And
follow him.
he's like the best guitar player in the world.
He just
so
fucking jammed out on his Instagram.
Yes. He posts these little videos of him playing guitar, and it's all like all that crazy stuff.
It's
up
insane.
and down the fretboard. Him and are we doing like these are platonic internet crushes?
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, you
Chelsea
don't-
Peretti also.
She is a fucking
They're my favorite Twitter
treasure.
people. Yeah.
She's a treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a force. Did you see her Netflix special?
Yes, I thought it was so funny.
So good. Oh, Dustin, our producer, was in that being straddled and made out with. So look for that cameo.
Wow.
She's
know.
actually got a Feral Audio podcast.
Oh, that's
which
right.
I'm sure
You
everyone
work.
listens to.
You work with her man with no microphone. I can't believe it's not a woman.
I can't believe it. I have one. I was looking at my phone only to look this up. There's a new one that so T Mitchelson, which is a sweet girl on Instagram, got me hip to this new bunny podcast, bunny Instagram.
Like 4 people tagged me in
Can
the
we
same
talk about
week
this?
telling me that I need to follow it, and I felt so hard in love.
It's insane. It's called Wally_and_Molly.
Wally and Molly.
And this bunny looks like a dog. I'm
That's a
showing.
rabbit?
That's a fucking rabbit.
That's like a Bichon rabbit. That's crazy.
I've never seen a rabbit that looks like this before in my life.
Did they groom the rabbit to look like a dog?
I don't think so.
Is such a dog.
The
That's
rabbit is like completely shaved except for insane Angora ears.
Oh my
I know.
God.
and it has a
How
big
can that be?
nose. It's got a big
And it's just
face.
thumping around. So check Wally and Molly. I started creeping through their backlog like such a stalker.
And it's got like a great personality. I'm so on the fence about
Rabbits?
as pets.
Yeah.
I feel like
They don't have a lot of personality.
for the most part, but every single person who has had one and has one says no, they totally do.
Right. I have some friends that have them as well, and they're like, yeah, this one's a bitch. This one's really nice.
Get a cat, bro. They won't try to burrow in your bed.
How do you feel about trails of Cocoa Puffs everywhere in your house?
Ooh, yeah. Actually, I think this one learned how to use the litter box.
Yeah, they do have litter boxes. I think sometimes they're still accidents, but if they are, it's like you left an ellipses around, like
Yeah, it doesn't even smell. Have you seen this like chipmunk guy? Can I do another shout out to a fucking?
We on this podcast, Allison, you should know we shout out a lot of fucked up weird animals on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like
What's
we can't get enough of them.
Well, I did Osiris and Riff Rat last time.
I just discovered them.
Amazing.
That's a
cute.
dog and a rat, right?
Yes, that are friends.
Right. I brought that down by reminding people that rats only live for 3 years before they get cancer, and I'm really sorry.
Here it is. It's called Bicky the Chipmunk, the chip, and it's BIKKE_the_chip, and it's this chipmunk. And I swear to God, all he ever does is stretch, and it's on videos, and it's the cutest thing. And he's just like the chillest little cute rodent, and I love him.
He looks like a cartoon.
I know. You know, the funny thing is, both of these have millions, like more followers than I'll ever have, and I'm like shouting them out.
But it's good to let people know where
Yeah.
to go to if they need to distract themselves from their
That's true.
own
Right.
lives for like a minute.
We have a dog, but we do not have an Instagram account for our dog. And we know a lot of people with dogs who are like, "Have you considered getting an Instagram account for Wendy?" Sort of, it's almost like, "Are you putting money away for her college?" Like, I don't know. Maybe we'll do it at some point.
Well,
because
I did the cats
Really?
because I didn't want to make my Instagram constantly cats,
right.
which is like maybe an excuse, but maybe not.
No, that's good.
But do you feel like you have to write in quote unquote her voice?
Never. I would never do that.
Okay.
That to me
So
is
a lot of people do.
weird. I know, and I don't like it.
And it's the same things over and over again. Like most dogs hate Mondays, apparently, because it's always a picture of the dog in the bed, like Mondays again. They like to put their tongue out on Tuesday.
Oh boy.
They are excited about Friday. and they
usually-
all want belly rubs and treats, Mom.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's always the mom thing.
I
Like,
would never do that.
Mom hates it when I find the clean laundry, but I love it. And you're like, whoa, scale back.
Someone doesn't want to get out of bed today, making me want to
Mondays.
stay home from work just to cuddle with you.
Do people do that for their kids' Instagrams? Are they like,
No.
Mom,
I don't think
where'd that
so.
nipple be? No,
Do you think people do they have Instagrams that they make for their children?
I don't know. Because then is it just like, if they are, they're probably private. Because like, I don't
Yeah.
think you want to advertise.
I follow people who put their kids on their Instagram, but it's not
Right.
the kids' Instagram.
I think when you start a social media account for a human being that can't talk for itself, that's when it starts getting oppressive.
Yeah.
Like if it's just an animal, it's like. But also, if it's an animal, dude, you can sell calendars, you can sell shirts, you can retire on that shit.
How do you
I
do
know
that?
a dog and its mom that made socks for their dog. Like you put the two socks. It's actually really cute. Abby Bella Cavalier. This is a cute one, so everyone should follow her. When you put the 2 feet together, it's the dog's face. I don't know how they did it.
Are they
Yeah.
selling a lot of socks?
I haven't checked on their returns, but I think so. I know it was for like a limited time, and I think a portion of it went to charity.
That's nice.
So
Yeah, I feel like that's since the real estate bubble burst and everyone's investment homes went under, I feel like the new investment strategy is like adopt a fucked up looking
Yeah.
dog
Yes.
or pet of any kind.
right with a tongue hanging out.
Right.
Or get a adorable pet and something that doesn't belong with it, and another adorable pet that would
And then
never.
merchandise. Like we can't rely on plastics for investment. We can't buy real estate yet.
Yeah,
It's too
Bitcoin is
iffy.
confusing.
Right,
Just
so
get a fucking
Cute animal.
some kind of weird mix of a dog,
Hope it pans out.
or get two.
Well, I have something controversial to say.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring any hate into my world any more than there already
All
is.
positive.
It's a safe space.
I don't think Toast Meets World is that cute. Are you familiar with this dog?
yes.
What's his name?
Toast Meets World.
No.
it's this?
Where tuna melts my heart. I love that one.
Love
but
tuna.
Toast Meets World is this. I think it's a. Is it a Cavalier?
It's a
I don't-
spaniel of sorts.
Yeah. Kind of reddish, and its tongue is really long and hangs outside of its mouth. And I'm sure it's a wonderful dog with a great story. I think it's probably like a puppy mill rescue or something. But I don't have the fervor for Toast Meets World that everyone seems
Why?
to.
What is it that bothers you about it?
It's
Overrated.
it's also I think the guy who does the fat Jewish that's the dad of
Oh,
it. So I
really?
think and then
And then there's
but I
another
can't
dog
remember.
too, Toast Sister, and that dog always Instagrams about how it sucks to always be in the shadows.
Oh, that's
I think.
sad.
Jesus.
That plumbs some interesting emotional issues though. Like what? Yeah. What if?
Who though?
What if you've got one pet that's like only got one eye and it's got like a tail that goes on like crooked, and then
Right.
you've got a perfectly normal cat that's like, I use the litter box, I come in here, I never keep you up at night,
Yeah.
but all you Instagram is
I
like
kind of have that because I'm obsessed with Elvis.
you're a cross-eyed Siamese
But
cat.
Mimi is like this. Everyone loves Mimi, and I love her too. But she keeps me up. But I did get an email from a shitty cat food company recently that was like, "Hey, we want to use part of a video that you put up on YouTube for our commercial."
That's awesome.
Yeah, and if it gets chosen, we'll maybe give you $300.
Oh, if it gets
I
chosen.
was like, "Fuck you."
Keep your social media contests away and just bring real cash.
I put this shit up because
And was it a cat food that's like the worst
I would
grade? Like it's probably
never
is it
feed-
made out of like prisoners?
it's made out of yes. I would never that's
like
hilarious.
gluten and dead prisoners.
Dead gluten-free prisoners, and then they put gluten in. I would never feed my cats this; they would die.
Is it a John's brand?
It's John's brand cat food.
You should feed them escalar. I can't believe it's not butterfish. That's what you should call it.
Do you ever, when you're, well, probably not with cat food, but occasionally with dog food, when I open the bag, I'm like, it doesn't smell that bad.
I've heard someone recently talk about wanting to eat cat food that smells good.
Really? Okay.
And
I
do
don't
you
know.
eat? Have you ever taken a bite of dog food?
No, I never have, but there are these treats that we give her, and on the bag it says only 3 calories per treat, and I think I'm not counting her calories yet. Like, I don't know if that's good or bad for a dog treat, but I look at them and I think one day I will taste one of those
It is
just to see
gonna-
what it tastes like.
Yeah, a little nibble.
Probably not going to die.
No,
No.
Probably not going to die.
probably not bad.
But I mean, a little Splenda on that.
Yeah,
I know, a couple
It's
spritzes.
late. Couple a little frosting layer. Yeah. Hey, do you have any ghost stories?
Now, by ghost stories, do you mean scary stories that I heard as a young person that are ghost stories, or like encounters with the occult?
Like, have you seen a ghost?
Have you ever been in a haunted place?
Or did you ever get a vibe from a place like, oh shit, I gotta get out of
Do you
here?
believe in aliens? Aliens work too.
I don't.
Intuition?
I saw a ghost last week.
Where?
Kind of.
Come on, where?
Yeah, where?
Do you need a minute to think of a good story?
Yeah.
Tell the story, Alie.
Okay. I didn't tell you this. I was
my God.
saving it for the PCast.
Oh my God. Well, here we are.
Everyone who listens to this knows that Georgia doesn't believe in ghosts, even though she sees them. I've never seen a ghost, but I'm open to possibility that we don't quite understand what happens with
Believes
energy
it's
fields.
so hard and a
I
shitless.
I'm open to the possibility that we don't know things.
Okay.
Like there's so much we don't know.
I agree. It's fair. I'm just a fucking cynic.
Well, okay. So I had to go to Prescott, Arizona last week, and apparently it's spelled Prescott, but it's pronounced Prescott. And
I never would have known that.
I didn't
the
either.
Like
fuck,
Houston,
right?
Houston.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I guess you have to say Prescott when you're there. Anyway, we stayed in this hotel. It was built in 1929. There was a woman who was jilted by her husband of 3 days. He left to go get cigarettes, never came back. She hung herself off of the balcony on the side of the street. So everyone in 1929 Prescott, Arizona was like watching her corpse sway. And she's like, he's never coming back. She could have just like, nowadays you just like check their Twitter and be like,
That is in your face
yeah.
suicide.
yeah, exactly. So she just didn't know where he went. She couldn't
What
check
if
up on
he
him.
like was like, oh, I got lost and came back like right afterwards?
I know. Seriously.
Why would she do that?
She could
Honey,
just
your
text
life
him.
is worth so much more than the shitty dude that you were married to for 3 days. Isn't it sucky that back then it was like, that's it?
Yeah.
You know that women who were married, it was a law that they actually weren't allowed to work outside of the home?
I don't doubt
until
that.
like the 70s, 60s or 70s.
Well, remember we've talked on this podcast. You weren't allowed to be a stewardess in like the 70s or something if you were married because
Right.
they're like, we'd like you to be sexually available just in case. Anywho's all. So I stayed.
Okay, yeah, sorry, go on.
So we're rolling. Me and my producer are rolling. I was there shooting Innovation Nation, not at the hotel, but somewhere else. We roll up and she's like, "Oh, P.S. This place is this cool haunted hotel," and I was like, "Oh, all right." So
Your dream and nightmare.
yeah, so we check in and they're like, "Oh yeah, Ghost Hunters has been here, like have been whatever." So I check in. I'm like already terrified, and I was ironing, and all of a sudden I thought someone walked through the door, and I thought it was my producer for some reason who was staying on a different floor, and but it was a shadow that looked like it came at me.
Oh my God.
And I like gasped, totally freaked out. Then okay, there was nothing there, and then I went. There are 2 doors in the hotel room, and that door was unlocked, which was weird because I just checked in and I hadn't walked through that door. So that door was just straight up unlocked. But that I saw a shadow come through.
Whoa.
Here's the thing. Oh, and also that same night, above me, same room but above me on the 4th floor where the hanging took place, my producer.
How did you took place above you?
Do they advertise this?
Yes, like people are like Prescott.
Holy
It's
shit.
called like the
wow.
Hiawatha Womp Inn. I forget. But my producer was like listening to Pandora when she got in her place, and the songs kept skipping ahead. Like
Like
it would,
the ghost didn't enjoy what she was listening to?
yeah, like the goes like fuck Coldplay, like
Katy Perry
Pink.
radio sucks.
Yeah,
Ghost, you're using all my skips.
kind of right. She's like, you're gonna make me listen to stupid ads for like Poise period pads or something. But
Okay.
anyway, so but I think it's possible that the dark figure that walked toward me through the unlocked door was also my shadow.
My God.
I think it was maybe my shadow, and they just didn't lock that door. But I was very scared, and it's a very haunted place.
I mean, reasonably.
And can I tell you, the day before we recorded our last podcast with Bonnie McKee, who
Yeah.
talked about haunted hotel rooms.
That's true. So probably you were probably like poised and ready.
I was poise padded and ready.
You were poised, padded, and ready.
Allison, what do you think?
I'm sort of in between you guys because I don't believe any of it, but I also feel like, well, there's so much we don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't believe any of it, but I'm really frightened by it. Like, I can't do horror movies at all. And it's not serial killer. Well, that scares me, but it's mostly the supernatural stuff that scares the crap out of me, even though I don't believe in it. So I don't know why there's that discrepancy. But my brother got married at the Stanley Hotel. I think that's what it's called, in Colorado, where The Shining was like set.
Yes.
And I was sort of freaked out to be there, but I didn't see anything. And I feel like if I was going to see something, I was at a haunted hotel then, so I
sure.
should have. But there is one weird thing that happened to me that I still don't understand how. It was years ago. A friend of mine had committed suicide. I was pretty deeply in mourning for a while, and I was at a grocery store. It was Gelson's, since
Okay.
we are naming names.
Grocery store episode.
And I was walking around, and I wish I could remember why I was like, I want to buy. You know what? Maybe it was Ralph's. I want to buy a candle and light a candle and like try to say good, like have some kind of ceremony and try to say goodbye. But I'm also an incredibly indecisive person, so I'll spend forever picking, like even just trying to figure out what kind of birthday candles to buy or something. I can really go to town, like taking forever to choose. And I looked down, and I swear this happened. In my basket, there was a red candle. What? In the basket. And I feel like maybe I myself put it in there and I just don't have a memory of it. Like maybe I was just so distracted.
I don't know. That sounds so weird.
It makes no sense to me. That's the only thing like that that has happened to me where I'm like, I do not understand how that happened.
Did you take it home and light it? You were like, this is the candle then.
No, I think I put it back.
Oh my God. It was like such an obvious sign. And you were like, but it smells like pine and I hate pine. No. That is hilarious. I love it.
I need to go.
Did you ever get a candle?
No, I think I was too freaked out by what happened.
Yeah, that does make sense.
And I was like, maybe I won't get a candle, actually.
What if it was a demon candle?
Right.
And it was bait.
Yeah.
And it
What
was
if
bait.
I thought it... Did you say it was you?
No, it was bait.
Oh,
You know, like they were like
Bait.
Oh, bait, yeah.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. What if I thought it was my friend and it was someone else?
What if you, it could have been. You guys, so many explanations.
Do you know in the Catholic Church you can light a candle and say a prayer, and then like God will grant you a wish, like to get you a cool car, or like cure pancreatic
That is
cancer.
not a thing.
But you have to pay to do the candle.
As
And
a
how
Jewish
much?
person, it's weird as fuck to me. She took me to where she used to go to church. I almost said temple.
Where the cathedral my parents got
And I
married
thought
at.
I was going to burst into flames when I walked through the door. It was just like...
There's statues everywhere. I was like, I've been going since I was a kid, and there was just like, oh yeah, there's statues with there's bloody bloody hands, and of course this is a weeping virgin statue. Like you've never seen one of these before, like in this big dark hollow room. But yeah, in order to light a candle to make your wish to God, they have prices, and it's like small candles are $1, big ones are
Small
10.
wishes, big wishes.
Pretty
Like,
much.
How much do you really want this wish to come true?
And he pays attention to the bigger
To
candles.
the bigger ones. But the funniest part of it is they actually have a machine where it takes a dollar bill, like a Pepsi machine.
and it dispenses it's like not on, like it trusts you to take the one
No,
you
it's
pay
an
for.
electronic candle. So you feed the dollar in, and then you press a button, and a light. And I don't know when the light goes out. I don't know how long it goes for.
Oh
but it
my
is like
God.
couldn't be more transactional.
Wow. There
so
should be an
good.
app.
I know there should be an app.
That is a great
It's
idea,
like
actually.
select your wish. Anyway, but that's
Actually. Should we do fuck that?
Oh, I do have a question though for both
Yeah.
of you guys, because Georgia, you had a blog called Georgia is Your Friend. Your email,
yeah.
is similar to that.
Oh.
And Allison Rosen is your new best friend, and I was
We want to be
curious.
everyone's friend.
Yeah.
I know. I was curious about the psychology of having that as part of like your brand. Is that
Well, it's overcompensating for being a total bitch. Obviously.
Totally.
Do you think so?
I think
I
so
was
too.
joking.
Oh, I don't think so either. I think there's a little bit of it of a like I'm friendly, like a little bit of like a convincing other people that like you're someone that they should be friends with. For me, for Georgia is your friend.
Okay.
It also sounded good. I thought. Well, I
Yeah,
had a
for-
live journal at the time, so it was like I was
live journal.
like 19.
I did love that your blog was also subtitled Georgia, the state that I am in.
The state that I
'Cause
am.
it was
Do you
like
get
a-
it? Because
Yes,
my name is
I
a
love
state,
that.
and I'm
I
also
love
like
that.
in a state constantly.
I loved it.
Yes.
Gotta resurrect that.
For me, I was in New York and I was doing a talk show on Ustream every week. And initially I called it either it was like the Allison Rosen Experiment or the Allison Rosen Show. And I was like, I need to spruce up this name. But what should I call it? And all of a sudden, Allison Rosen is your new best friend just popped into my head. And I think I tweeted something like, what do you guys think of that? And the response was really good. So I decided to just go with it. There wasn't really much. It kind of just popped into my head fully formed. And there wasn't a lot of thought behind it.
It's a great.
I just liked
title.
it. And I do want my show to be friendly and welcoming and a safe space and a place where people can talk openly and like a hug for someone who needs a hug. So I feel like it's like that.
You don't want like
you want the banter to be like immediately we're connecting.
Comfortable,
You don't want to
yeah.
talk about, so tell me about your new movie and how was it? What did you feel?
So, but
am
it's
I
like an
saying?
invitation. It's almost like an
Yeah.
open door.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're like, instead of being like, knock on the door, see what's behind, it's like, doors open, come in.
Yes.
By the way, side note, I left the door open before you got here so that you could find which
Right.
apartment it was.
is.
But I also left the door open to pee when Georgia was
yeah.
the only one here. So I realized sitting on the toilet peeing that I could see out into my hallway, and it was horrifying. But I'm curious about that. I think that's interesting because you guys are both like, I don't know a lot of people that have
That's
that.
a good
but
question.
That is-
that
yeah.
is interesting.
my blog would be Allie's not good enough to be your friend. No, but probably no. You know what? I'm fine, and now I made it weird. .com.
At GeoCities.
Yeah.
I'm not even good enough for fucking WordPress.
And this website probably sucks, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the worst
Oh,
website.
and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry.
It's so true.
Oh.
But okay, so should we do fuck that?
Let's do fuck that. Fuck that is how we end the show. It's one thing we love so much we want to fuck, and one thing we hate so much we're like, fuck that. We're going to start with what we hate so we can end on a good, happy note.
Yeah. So a thing that you want to fuck right off. Something a pet
Let's
peeve.
end. Let's see. What's yours, Alie?
Okay, my thing that I want to fuck right off. Okay. The NB-
Wow.
okay.
How are you doing right there?
NBC is streaming shows now, and their player sucks, and it pisses me off.
Is your show on it?
No, but I was trying to watch. People keep talking about Aquarius, and I'm like, oh, I'll watch this.
Oh, yeah. I want to see that.
Yeah, and I tried to watch it, and it was like AOL videos from 2005, where I was like it buffered forever. And if you try and skip around to anything like, oh, you know what, I'm going to go back
On demand
30
does that
seconds,
too.
it shows you 45 minutes worth of commercials, but it keeps stopping in the middle because it's buffering. And
Yeah.
so it's really like 3 hours of commercials to watch like a 51-minute show. And I'm like, NBC, I get that you're getting into the streaming game, but like,
You're
can you
doing it
collect your
wrong.
shit together for one moment before you show your face to the world?
Yeah. Like, ask about user interface. Is that a thing?
I'm like, Netflix has got this. What
Oh, yeah.
happened?
Netflix has
But
got
you're
it down.
NBC. Anyway, so I tried to watch Aquarius, but I don't know. All I can tell you is that the Prilosec is a great medicine because I watched 10 ads for it. Anyway, what do you hate, Jordan?
I hate that I just found out that I live in a small apartment building, and one of the 8 apartments in my building I found out has been rented out by this girl for an Airbnb for the past fucking year. And she's charging less than $100 a night. So, and it's up to 3 people or more. So just fucking strangers. That's cheap as fuck. That's not a classy person staying in that place. That's how we need to come out here, and we're running from the law. Let's split $100 for this place.
Robert Durst Flophouse.
Exactly. So I fucking told on them.
Who'd you tell?
Motherfuckers, I told the fucking property managers.
Nice.
I am a dick and I don't care.
No, do it.
Also, I really want my friends to move into that unit, so fuck you. Get
You're
out
like,
of there.
I'm going to evict this girl who doesn't even live here anymore. But you found it on Airbnb. Like, did you see how much they were renting it for?
Yep.
How are the pictures?
Pictures
were
are
they
beautiful.
Nicer? Are they nicer than real life?
That place does not look like that. They don't mention that it's like backed up against a fucking carport.
Wait, how did you realize? Just from all the people coming
Because
in and out?
3 tourists, clearly tourists, were walking up and I kept seeing people who like that wasn't her. And finally, like 2 nights ago, we saw like 3 Japanese tourists walking into the apartment, 3 girls, and we're like, this is shady.
Did they have cameras around their necks?
No,
Were they
was that
asking you
racist?
for the
They were
Hollywood thing?
Japanese girls, and they were clearly tourists.
Like from Japan.
Yeah.
If I saw 3 German dudes in like
Right,
tank tops,
right.
whenever you see like 3 guys with too good of skin,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, number 1, you're German, and 2, you're a tourist.
yeah. So I fucking told. I don't need them people bringing bed bugs and.
I don't need them people bringing bed bugs.
bullshit.
Yeah, no. you
Also, I
can't
want Matt
def
Dwyer
get
to
bed
move in
bugs.
there, so
Yeah, get Matt Dwyer.
okay.
Our friend Matt Dwyer.
Allison, what do you hate?
Yeah, what do you hate?
I have 3. Can I whittle it down to 2?
You
Yes.
can say all of them
Okay.
if you want.
Yeah.
I have
Well, I
another
have-
thing I hate.
all right.
Let's go, guys. Let's
You
go
know,
hate.
Google Drive can go fuck itself right now. I like it for the most part. However, just recently there was a folder in a shared folder. And I was trying to move the folder out of the shared folder and into my drive. And I did that, and now the folder's gone. Everything's gone. And it just says that I restricted my access to it. Like I took myself off of it, but I can't find it. And it's just a whole mess. I don't know where it is, and I'm trying to find out. And also, sending an email to any kind of support can go fuck itself because I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
I'll just Google forever. I'll Google my question over and over
You'll
to try to
ask
find.
Google, how do I fucking fix you, Google?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
That's like being Google's therapist. Google, how can I help you?
How can I reach you?
What's the other thing?
Oh, the other thing is, this is like a super show busy one, but I'm going to say it anyway. You know when you're on some kind of panel show and there's one person who is monopolizing and you cannot get a word in edgewise, or you could, but in order to get a word in, you have to really like crowbar your way in there and you feel like an asshole. I hate that show business rewards that one super loud monopolizer, because in that kind of situation, you walk away, and if it's, let's say it's a TV thing, it's like people are just like, oh, why didn't you say more? And you're like, no, you don't understand. So it's like the person who is super obnoxious and keeps turning the focus back to them and won't let anyone else talk is the one that everyone remembers, and you know, oh, they nailed it. So I hate that people are rewarded for being assholes. And I also feel like
it's like narcissism
Yes.
is rewarded in Hollywood.
yeah. So I don't know.
It's like evolutionary almost, like you dominated.
Right.
Yeah.
Survival of the loudest.
Right. And it's like I've learned that lesson before, especially with any sort of live TV thing. Like I've learned the lesson that you really, no one's going to appreciate that you let them talk and that you were quiet. But just recently I did a thing where I kind of got trampled by a hurricane of a human. And
I want to know who it is so bad.
And I walked out of there being like, fuck, like I knew, you know, Allison, you know that you have to push back and get in there, but I just didn't do it because I just am sort of over those situations, but I feel like I can't be over them. So that whole thing.
Well, you said
I say,
something
fuck
interesting
that.
in it though. You were like, I don't want to interrupt them because I'm an asshole. Then I'm an asshole, and it's like, well, why are you you're not like it's such a narrative that women especially tell ourselves. It's like, I don't want to interrupt because I don't want to be an asshole. Well, it's like the fact
Yes.
that they're not giving you a chance to speak makes them the asshole,
Right.
Or no one's an asshole. It's like,
Did you
Bullshit.
see that Amy Schumer episode recently where there's a
Yep.
panel of female scientists?
yeah,
No, I haven't seen
It's
it yet.
amazing. Yeah, all they do is apologize.
Right.
Just consistently, which is super funny because it's just, a panel of like women, like achievement awards, and it's everyone's like, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
so good, and they all
It's very true.
blow up.
Right. This was a situation where it was other women, and I was thinking that if it had been men, I think I would be more comfortable butting in. But because it was women, I'm like, we're going to be cool with each other,
that makes
right?
sense.
Yeah.
And then we weren't.
You have to see this episode of Amy
Okay.
Schumer. You'll die.
That totally makes sense. I think I would be more.
More-
Because dudes would be like, fuck you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. But ladies, except if you're a dick, I don't.
Yeah, I think if you're around guys, you do want to prove yourself a little
Right.
bit. Like, I'm no wilting flowers, but around
Yeah.
other women, you're like, you have
We're
a
gonna
pact.
do
Like, we're
this.
all
Yeah.
gonna be wilting flowers, right? Which sucks. Yeah, there's no adversary other than just like
I love it.
the loud person. I definitely talk more when I'm nervous, which sucks in those situations because I'm like,
Yeah, that's something to remember too. Is like they might be hoping and waiting you'll butt in because
Yeah.
they want to stop talking and don't know how to.
That's true. I should have done her a favor by cutting her off.
And for me too, it's like I am so scared of awkward silences that I don't wait and let someone else bring up a topic. I think it's my responsibility and I'm learning that it's not. And if I just shut the fuck up for a second, someone else will bring up a topic and it's fine.
well, I think, Allison, what's your birth order? Youngest, oldest, only?
I have a younger sister, and I have two older half brothers.
Oh.
So, but they're 11 years older than I am, so oldest basically.
So you're the kind of oldest.
Yeah.
I think the youngest tend to try to fill gaps and more. I think the older
That
are
makes
used to
sense.
having like
Yeah.
a crazy fucking magpie to fill the silence
That
than
makes
being like
sense.
having to hold down the fort. And youngest is like
You and I, Allie.
a little bit.
Let's end on Allison's love.
Okay.
Allie, what do you love?
Oh, you know what? You know how like you don't download albums anymore? You just like buy a track and you're like,
Yeah.
and you listen to it 10 times. Like, "Oh, that was fun. And then you're like, I don't have a soundtrack for seasons. Like I don't have a summer soundtrack. I downloaded an album on spec, not knowing if it was going to be good, and I am obsessed with it.
What if
and
it's
I'm like,
the one-
I have a summer soundtrack.
What if it's My Love? Because I have a. Mine is an album.
Oh my god!
What if
Really?
it is?
Yours isn't? We both have albums.
Yeah, which is like
That's so
not
funny.
normal for me because I fucking
Yeah,
can't stand
because
music.
sometimes it's like I like celery soda and I like plucking my knee hairs or
Okay,
something.
let's say the band at the same time. I'm gonna count to 3.
it's not a band.
Oh, is it a song?
No, it's just a person.
It's an artist.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's not it. That would have been fun. Let me just try and say it anyways. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Three.
Frank
Angry
Sinatra.
Sinatra.
No.
Okay. Frank Sinatra's not a band.
I'm kidding. I was trying to guess who your singer was. Clearly, it's not Frank Sinatra.
Yours is Soundgarden, right? Just kidding.
Alie, did you even say one?
No, it was Ingrid Michaelson.
Oh.
So I heard that she was really funny on the Nerdist podcast, and so I listened to it, and she was hilarious and hysterical. And she's playing the Greek Theater here up the street, June 11th. But I'm gonna be out of town. But I just downloaded her latest album called Lights Out, just being like, hope this isn't a waste of $11.99 or whatever. And it's dope. And I've listened to it a bazillion times, and I like it. She's kind of like poppy, singery songwriter. Anyway, it's really good. If anyone's looking for a summer jam album, listen to it and then tweet at us and let me know if you like it. We would love to get her on the podcast, but she kind of nailed it on Nerdist. So I'm
you're like, we don't need
she doesn't
this.
need to come on this. What's yours?
Well, I don't want to just do one podcast and then you're done.
You're done. You made
cover
your impression.
You cover it all. I don't want it to be a band because I feel then it's all music centric. But fuck
No,
it.
that's great. Our cycles are synced.
Or like cycles. I really like the new album by My Morning Jacket called Waterfall.
Oh,
It's a like 2 or 3 listen and then you're obsessed kind of album.
okay. I'm gonna get it.
But it's on the second or third listen, it's like you can't get it out of your mind.
Okay.
Okay, do it.
All right, I'll get that. I'm gonna get that.
should.
I
It's
heard
great.
him on an NPR thing where he's like, he wanted to make the sound as shitty as possible. He's like, I want it to sound like one take from the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it to be polished.
It's great songwriting.
Okay.
I'm going to get both of those
Get
albums.
'em.
Mine is I never watched 6 Feet Under way back when. And so
jealous
I'm
of you.
Just watching it for the first time now, and I'm obsessed.
I'm so jealous that you get to watch it brand new.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you should. Daniel, my husband, had been telling me for a while because anytime I would lament, like, oh, damn it, Mad Men just ended or this show just ended, and he would be like, someday you got to get into 6 Feet Under. I think you would really like it.
I get that with The Wire too. When I'm just like,
People,
someday.
I've heard The Wire's kind of hard to get into though
Yeah.
for a while. But 6 Feet Under, I was hooked right away. So
I'm so jealous of you guys. I've watched the whole series like 2 or 3 times.
How do you feel?
wow.
How does it make you feel about death? Because I'm scared of death myself.
Yes, I'm no fan of death.
Okay.
But I think that actually maybe is why I stayed away from it back in the day. Because like I mentioned with, having lost a friend and I've lost some people in my life. So I think that I've always felt like death is a little too close. So I didn't want to watch something about it. But now it's not triggering anything really. I like it. It definitely has its sad moments. There was an episode that I saw recently where a kid died, and I was like, "Oh, we're not going." Or I don't want it to go there. I don't want that. And that one was sad, but for the most part, it's the death kind of remains in a very fictional universe.
It's almost whimsical. And
Yes.
it's like whimsical without happy, like whimsical depressed, but like it's playful. Does that make sense?
Playfully terrifying.
Playfully
It's not
melancholy.
terrifying.
It's whimsically. It's melancholy whimsical.
It's dark comedy,
Okay.
but it's not. I have not felt disturbed by it.
Should I treat it like a pharmaceutical and like try the first episode and then see if I have side effects
Yeah.
of terrified of deathness?
Actually, the more I think about it, knowing you, I don't know if you should watch it.
Oh no!
Oh no. I'm kind of like, where would Alie be in life? Like, what would she be like when she picked me up after watching 4 episodes,
Right?
in like one night and I'm like, she's not going to be a happy person.
No, I think I'm constantly like struggling to keep it light, Ward. Where I'm like, I can't. Georgia can watch all the true crime ever forever. And granted, it doesn't do wonders for your anxiety levels.
No.
But you do it